Hi, Aibowan. I have a couple of things in my mind I'd like to open up to you. And I don't know if I can cover both, but one is about how I audition actors and try to audition good actors, try to get good actors for my pictures. And the other one is a little thing that I have I'd like to share with you all about the fear of awards and festivals. So let's see how far we can go. Usually, since my practice, I think my first auditioning actors was in Manhattan, New York City, at my storefront apartment on between A and B on Second Street. And that was sometime way back, and we ran an ad in Backstage saying that for this kind of film, looking for this much of age, who looks this much blah 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 age, and do the auditions in such a day. And I remember, I know lots of people, they like to do a script reading, but I think a little bit of my background was coming from theater at those days, like from Vyanga and learning a little bit from Mahendra Pereira and all those things. I preferred more or less doing improv with the actors. Give them the scene. I would give them a scene, and I'll tell you what happened in my first auditions. It was, you know, male and a female, but like what happened to Harrison Ford in Star Wars, my friend Mike Goralnik was the male. He was a fabulous. I think he's a great writer, but he's no more in film. But he was my classmate, and we did the auditions, and I explained the scene. Mike, of course, knew by doing it over and over. I explained the scene to the actresses. This is what happens. He comes, you call him at work. He's working at you know, at that time, Times Square pawn shop, and calling and say, you just cut off your finger and it's bleeding, you need help. And he's just running through the streets with the dildo in his hand because he's forgotten, and this thing is very important, and coming to see the girl, and then find out it was a mock, it was a play, it was because they have this play between the two, and that's the whole scene, and then how it was taken into dramatic levels. So I would explain the scene, and with different actors it was different. I mean, especially the female characters, because most of the time the male was Mike, and but Mike also played different ways with them. Sometimes you had to play because some of them were very good, some of them were not up to the standards, so he had to change his character as well, but it's just the mood. So I think for me it works very well with the actors, giving them an improvisation scene. I did that in Milasoa also. I mean, when Kamal brought me Pradeep, who we used to call him Al because Al Jonga, and Pradeep is the character who. When one guy in the snow dies, he takes his money and leave him on the in the snow and takes off. That's Pradeep's character, and he was one of the band members in the film, and he was doing the keyboards. So when Kamal brought Pradeep, I did a improvisation audition with him, and he came out very well. And I took him, and he was very good. I was very happy with the choice. And even with Roger, I think, when he played in Sihina Desha, my first film, he was auditioned. He was he was not given a script. I just told him that he has to be a violin player. He needs to learn violin. So he came, actually he took a bus on the road and he came to all the way to Maravilla and did his audition and went back. And I think I was with Victor or Mahendra, I don't know. I told him, this guy sounds good. I like him. And that was Roger's first film, Roger Senaviratna's first film, Sihina Desha, Wales of Maya. So auditioning actors with explaining a scene and improvisation works for me. Because for me, then I can see how far I can go with those actors. But the known ones, like sometimes I even write the characters for people I know, like Nimneka Hudakalawa. Alone in a Valley, I wrote a character for Vimukti, and I didn't audition him because I didn't need to. I knew exactly how he would play. Actually, he was better than what I expected. He became better in the film when he was playing than I expected. So some of those characters like Mahendra, I just write for him. So just wanted to let you know that when you try to choose cast actors for your films, this system works for me very well. Just advertise or put your flyer or try it on Facebook and ask them to show up, and once they show up, explain them the scene and then let them improvise. That's what I do. Some people, of course, prefer to give them to read from the screenplay. I don't find it very creative enough for me, but some people are very satisfied. Even biggest directors, they are very satisfied. This is a different way of working, so I can understand my actor. So you might want to try sometime. It'll work for sure.